Well, just north of there, in Napier, residents have been warned they could be without power for many days. And to make matters worse, a major connection to nearby Hastings is looking far from secure. A mangled, twisted, muddy mess. The sheer power of Cyclone Gabrielle's deluge laid bare.
Oh, it's just shocking. Just the devastation in this area is huge. I mean, the flooding all across towards Awatoto there, and the fact that the railway bridge has been washed out is just astounding. The railway line next to State Highway 51 succumbed to the pressure of the swollen Tutaikuri River. Where we're standing here would have been underwater, I'd imagine. The railway bridge has probably protected the road bridge. But that protection proved not to be as strong as first thought. The crucial link between Napier and Hastings was once again cut off after only a few hours. The sheer volume of debris here is shocking. Thousands of trees, all manner of vegetation. There are apple crates lining the south bank and all through this mess. And all of it has slammed up against these two bridges, wiping out the first one, peeling the railway line back and leaving the second road bridge extremely fragile. One person, though, was so desperate to get to Hastings, they swam across the river mouth on a surfboard, a decision authorities strongly advise against. But there is a desperate need to reconnect in any way possible.
We were going to go over to Hastings today to get a radio, just a cheap one, runs on batteries, doesn't run on power, just so we could try and get some sense of what everything else. Essentially, we've got no power, we've got no Wi-Fi, we have no way of knowing what the rest of the country is feeling.
At the height of the flood, the Tutaikuri stop banks also failed, sending water through neighbouring communities like the Te Awa estate.
We've had a pretty rough couple of days, but yeah, it seems like it's subsiding.
Locals here overwhelmed, tired and frustrated.
People don't know what's going on. We're getting civil defence messages saying, please check your Facebook feed. We can't. It's absolute shambles. It's just unnecessary. Yeah. It's been pretty tiring.
But remarkably, they're also upbeat. Sue and Alan Warner evacuated early and came back to find their home flooded and yellow-stickered. But they say they feel lucky.
People have died, you know, so we're still alive. Sometimes these things are put in your place and it sorts you out and sorts your thinking out. And actually, and just makes you better people, I think, at the end of the day.
For the little people, it's a lot to take in. Onions, apples and pumpkins bobbing through the floodwaters, like them, scattered far from home.
Right now I've got my daughter, our son-in-law, Stanley and Ziggy have had to move in because they can't get home.
So these are your grandchildren?
My grandchildren.
Oh, wow. And mums and dads displaced and uncertain, left thinking about vital supplies. What's at the top of the list? What do you need?
Probably some formula, really. Yeah. Never thought we'd see the day, to be honest. It's unreal.
Residents here now look to figure out their next steps. Still, there's no power, but they're slowly learning little by little what's happened to them and their communities.